Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Hearts of Iron 4 Millennium Dawn with me, Papa Omega, and Iran. So I want to start this episode by addressing a couple of your comments. The first ones I would like to address are pertaining the development of nuclear weapons. Yes, we are going to do that during this playthrough. This is a roleplay one, so it would be weird to not actually delve into that. There is actually a really nice focus tree for that, which is under the IROST, which gives you the atomic advancement efforts, the enrichment plans, the Arak heavy water complex, and it ends with "we have done it," which you can only take after you have at least one nuke in your stockpile. Now, planning to do that after we actually have the economy a bit under control. And I made the reference to the roleplay fact of the playthrough because Iran actually has a sort of clandestine nuclear program, but it wasn't always so. I didn't speak about this during the introduction to the history of Iran, but Iran was actually helped with its nuclear program quite extensively by United States in the 1950s and 1960s. This cooperation actually ended in 1979, as you probably have guessed, but then Iran has turned to Russia to help it with its, enrichment program and research and so on and so on. Now, Iran is a signatory of the Non-Proliferation Treaty, so it has bound itself to not develop nuclear weapons. But after a dissident group came out, I think it was around 2003, and claimed that Iran has been developing nuclear weapons, there has been a lot of extra sanctions put in place to stop Iran from doing that. After a lot of pressure from the international community, Iran actually signed a treaty with United States and other countries, and that it will stop its enrichment program. And as far as I know, or maybe I'm not actually that versed in it, but I think they were abiding by it until President or ex-President Trump, in the name of the United States, withdrawn from this treaty and reinstated the sanctions against Iran. So naturally, Iran had no reason to not restart its enrichment process or nuclear research process. It's kind of funny because why the hell? And there was a lot of criticism that Iran is actually doing that. But from my point of view, that's another big what the hell. Like, they signed the treaty and they were abiding it. But then if you withdraw from the treaty, why would they not just like? Well, I guess you get my point. So we are gonna get nuclear weapons if we can in this playthrough, especially because there is still a lot of questions in regards to Israel and its nuclear program. I'm pretty sure all of you know that Israel is suspect of having nuclear weapons, but they never confirmed it. So in every list you can see them with a question mark because nobody really knows, apart from, I guess, the top officials from Israel. And I wouldn't be surprised if even those guys didn't know, or at least all of them. Another thing that actually came up was that Wolfau made an analysis regarding the taxes and the police, meaning that if we increase the police funding, we get extra stability and can thus increase the population tax rate. Now, I'm pretty sure there might be other penalties for you to keep increasing the tax rate. So yes, having at least high police and intelligence funding and being able to raise your population tax rate is a good idea because you basically offset the increased tax rate. But I'm not entirely sure that's probably all there is to it. I'm pretty sure there is some hidden modifiers because otherwise you could just increase it, to about 100, and then you tax your population for everything. I'm pretty sure it might have a negative effect on the per capita GDP or something like that. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure there is going to be something, which is why I mentioned that I want to raise it, but I never really go up. I feel that 30 is stretching it, so I don't want to go much higher than that. pretty much because I pay my own taxes, and the idea that someone is taking or taxing me with 65% is just insane. And even further is actually pretty high. Czech Republic has a real tax, well, actually the declared tax rate of about 21%, but real tax rate somewhere around 34%, and that I consider really, really high. So, those are the things that I wanted to address. Oh, there was actually one more. I forgot who it was, but someone mentioned that Azerbaijan has a fleet in the Caspian Sea. So, that kind of confirmed the fact that we actually do need to have a navy in there. It doesn't have to be a big one, but in case we get into a conflict with Azerbaijan, Kazakhstan, or some, of course, Russia, we need to have some kind of presence in there. I guess a couple of corvettes. Actually, do we have corvettes or frigates there? I think we have corvettes there, right? No, we have one frigate and one corvette. So something like 2 or 3 frigates, 2 or 3 corvettes, and helicopter operator hull would be ideal. I think that would be ideal. And I apologize, I still haven't had the time to check on the Navy. So if you guys can, please remind me in the comments to actually check it before I do the next recording session tomorrow or tonight, because I'm recording this in the morning. But I need to look into that a bit to see what Iran is actually doing with its Navy and how they name their ships and so on, so that we can stick to it. Okay. With that said, I think we can continue. We just started the focus priority Kerman because we want to get the 10 precious mineral. No, it's not precious. It's precious metals. Yes, precious metals in Kavir, which are gonna for the foreseeable future cover our expenses. We have a surplus. What the hell? I don't think that's right. Yeah, it isn't. The game just needed to recalculate it. Interest rate is already 2.5%, we're paying 0.090 billion, but frankly we are doing great. The game, instead of hitting us with stagnation or recession, allowed us to go to the fast growth, which really, really helps. Kim Dae-jung demands Japanese reparations. Following weeks of antagonistic rhetoric from Seoul and pressure by Korean activists, Kim Dae-jung has called upon Japan to pay reparations to survivors of Japanese war crimes committed during the Second World War. Japan, which maintains that the matter was settled between its government and that of South Korea during the rule of authoritarian strongman Park Chung-hee, has predictably refused to consider paying reparation. While the affairs has failed to result in compensation for Korean victims, it has led to strengthening of Kim Dae-jung's political position, with many Koreans rallying around this exceedingly emotive national cause. By the way, I really like Japan, but what they did during the Second World War in China, in Korea, well, once you start reading upon it, the concentration camps are nowhere near the things that Japan did in China. I'm sorry to say that, but the way that Japanese acted in China and the inhumane experience, I know that Mengele and the concentration camps were awful, but Jesus Christ, what Japan was doing, that's just absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Movement for Liberation Congo took 1 state. Rally for Congo's democracy took 8 states. Democratic Republic Congo was... Really? Is it Congo somewhere here? Yeah, it is. Okay. So you annexed Congo, the Democratic Republic of Congo, and Rally for Congo's democracy. Is that a pro-Western? Yeah, it's a rebel Western outlook country. And so are you. And an emerging outlook here for Congo. Interesting. Very interesting. Lebanese elections. Emil Lahoud forms new government. Hey, we actually do have a surplus now. I guess it's connected. Or wait, did we... Oh yeah, we probably just finished another factory. So Azerbaijan is building yet another one, the 15th civilian factory. We keep the tax cost very low. I'm gonna try to do my best to keep it as low as possible, because that is something that we will need to do for now. And once we get the Kerman, what's it called? Sarkheshmeh copper. then we can actually stop importing that, and that's one extra factory as well. It's gonna be really nice. Really nice. We should really build a relative autarky, because I don't think we can in any way rely on anyone around us. That just doesn't make much sense. So actually we have a mild surplus now, so I can start repaying the debt. It's not like we are gonna be able to do much, and don't forget that we're gonna start paying heavily for these extra factories. But if we have a surplus and can keep this surplus running, the surplus should be increasing on its own unless we get hit by something. And then we might look a bit more into funding the police, increasing the health clinics, because they actually lower the tax laws even further and give you monthly population growth and recovery rate and stability. The expenses are just insane. Yeah, the safety, the social spending is just great for political power gain, and stability, of course. But other than that, it gives nothing really that good. Okay, and we have 31 army experience. You know what? I think we're gonna look at that Zulfigar tank. So what did we see that we can do? We can upgrade the the explosive reactive armor. So that's one thing that we upgrade. We upgrade Cold War battle stations. No, those we don't upgrade. But we upgrade Cold War composite armor. Complex armor. Okay, the steel armor is probably way worse, isn't it? Yeah, wow, that is way worse. So that's good. We have the suspension torsion bar. We have a light Cold War medium tank gun. Welded turret. Caster would be worst. Welded. Oscillating is interesting. An unusual design where the gun is fixed into the turret, and in order to aim the gun, the entire turret rotates on a trunnion. This gives the gun great stability and allows for fast and flexible aiming. With this design, the trunnion system leaves the turret ring exposed and weakly armored. Yeah, it reduces armor, but ironically increases defense and attack. Interesting. We might consider that reloading system, auto-loading system, early smoke launchers, and we have a top-mounted heavy machine gun. What's that? How much does that give? Well, we'll keep that in there. I was thinking that, yeah, we were talking about putting the blowout panels. In case of a catastrophic ammo explosion, it is good to design the tank with predetermined weak points in mind. This way the blast will be directed outside of the tank rather than into the crew compartment. This might be a good idea because it increases the reliability of the tank severely. And for us, it might be good. We can increase the armor then. So if we design it like this, speed would drop a bit, but reliability would go up by 10%. Armor would increase by 27.3%. Breakthrough by 3.6 and defense by 2.5. I think that's actually a pretty good thing. So let's call this. We can call this Zulfigar 2A because we will have a number of these. So let's keep the A there. I mean, there was a Zulfigar 2 and Zulfigar 3. So we can call this one No, actually this would be Zulfigar 2. But the changes are really small. So let's go to Zulfigar 1. Because we need to... Okay, you're gonna finish this one tomorrow, and then we are gonna switch you to the next one. Our production efficiency is so low that we cannot actually potentially even take a hit. So, yeah. Good. And we really are actually getting a surplus. That is really nice. So, Karman is a priority. Renovation of mines. So then NICICO. So that meant we took on some debt. NICICO, National Iranian Copper Industries Company, or NICICO, is an Iranian copper production and extraction company which operates in the field of copper exploration, extraction and exploitation, as well as the production of copper products such as cathodes, slabs, billets and wires. The company owns 3 copper mines, Sarkheshmeh and Miduk in Kerman province and Sungun in East Azerbaijan. So we're gonna get extra 50 political power, civilian building slot and a civilian industry. And it's gonna cost us 7.5 million in treasury, but we can actually do that. Yeah, we'll be fine. It's gonna take 30 days to do this. How much do we need to further lower the corruption? 480. I'm gonna go to medium corruption and then we're gonna stop and start looking at the possibility of increasing tax in exchange for giving our people a bit more services. But the corruption needs to go because it really hurts everything. Research speed, factory output, counterintelligence. I mean, the penalties are gonna stay, but they're gonna be much lower. And I think everyone pretty much has some kind of corruption. I wonder, I live in Czech Republic, so how much of a corruption do you guys have? Can we see that here? Widespread corruption, okay. So, I don't feel that, but I'll take it. Medium. Oh, come on. Don't tell me that Poland has less corruption than Czech Republic. Slight corruption in Germany. I mean, on the other hand, this is 2000s. That's about 22 years ago. Less corruption in Austria. Hungary has systematic corruption. Systematic corruption in Romania. Turkey has also systematic corruption. What about Russia? Rampant corruption. And Ukraine, of course, we know that's a rampant corruption. Yeah, okay, I guess, I mean, 23 years ago, that's just, what, 14 years after the 12 years after the revolution, the Velvet Revolution, that is. I guess that is realistic. I'm thinking we might well want to look at Katami's things here once we get that reduction, because production efficiency, that's not bad, and increases even tax revenue. What is this? The new phase of economic plans, 90 days. I don't really care much for the production efficiency, growth and cap, but the tax revenue is ruined. Well, I mean, no, of course I care about the cap and the growth, but it's not a major thing for us. Or is it? We have what, 25? Yeah, 25%. It's not like it's too much. They right here. Mohammed Khatami was born on 14th October 1943 in Ardakan in the Yazd province. He owns the title of Sayyid. He is an Iranian reformist politician. Mohammed Khatami received a BA in Western philosophy in Isfahan at Isfahan University, but left academia while studying for a master's degree in educational sciences at Tehran University and went to Qom to complete his previous studies in Islamic sciences. He studied there for 7 years and completed the course to the highest level, Ijtihad. After that, he briefly settled in Germany to chair the Islamic Center in Hamburg from 1978 to 1980. Yeah, and then... Oh, okay. So here we go. We got the 8th presidential election. So we're actually not gonna get anything. After the coordination between the parties and influential people within the government, the necessary coordination to determine the candidates and confirm their qualification by the Guardian Council has been completed and implemented. It seems that the atmosphere of society is also excited about the elections. Also, compared to the previous elections, the differences between principlist and reformist parties have decreased, and it is to the extent that the elections will be held peacefully. The measure is the vote of the nation. Let's see what happens. Okay, so we have 71% support for Ahmad Tawakoli, who increases political power gain by 5%. He's a parliament member, former minister of labor, tax gain multiplier plus 10%. Oh my god. And he's a former government spokesman, so we get extra political power gain. But independence from other principalist parties is lowered by 20%. Ideology-driven defense. And you give us what? Political power gain increased by 10%. Lowered stability and daily pro-Western support was increased. Economic upgrade, cycle cost multiplier, and tax. Okay, so tax gain is the same. So we're actually not gonna get anything extra. But we're gonna receive the same. And we're giving directly 0.1 daily political power gain, and we're giving 10%. Okay, well, we get the NICICO done, which means we get additional civilian industry, and we paid for it this time off our budget. And we can get the Sarcheshmech copper, which is going to cost us nearly 10 billion. We're definitely going to have to increase our debt for that, but it's going to give the production of 10 precious metals in Kvir. The Sarcheshmech copper complex. This is really hard to pronounce for me. Sarcheshmech. Okay, you guys don't get it. Copper complex is a large open-cast copper mine in the Kerman province of Iran, considered to be the second largest copper deposit worldwide. Although it produces so much already, with some government funding, we could further increase the amount that is mined out yearly with the creation of extra dewatering bores to prevent collapses and deepen the mine. So we're gonna fund that. Now do we have... No, we still have only 13 factories available, unfortunately, but that's the tax cost. It's gonna keep increasing as we get more factories, but this one is definitely gonna be added to our production. Oh, and we got... No, we still need 20 more. Okay. So what options do we have here? Broadcast TV ads for principalists. Broadcast TV ads for reformists. Put up street ads for principalists, street ads for reformists. So we could actually intervene in this if we wanted to keep Khatami in power, but I don't really think we want to do anything of that. Oh, and actually we can do something here. I thought that we couldn't do it anymore, but okay. If we can do it, I think we might temporarily go with that. Gain base. Oh, this one actually increases base stability by 5%. And you give extra tax, and then you get 6 billion. Okay, now we're gonna take the develop the economy. That's gonna be the last thing that he's gonna take. Now I'm actually kind of sorry that we didn't invest much into that, but they all cost a lot of political power, which we really needed to get rid of the corruption, which is just criminal in Iran, or it was. Now it's lower than in many places of Europe. But 468, yeah. You're not gonna give us any political power. Nope, you're not. So that's fine. Oh, we can speed it up a bit more. Now, considering we're producing 2 Zulfikar 1s per month, we should start seeing some of those in service. But I think we have so many tank battalions. Wow, look at that. Yeah, we have even some of the American equipment available. And Russian, some British, some Chinese. This is the result of the war with Iraq, where Iran bled most of its original equipment that it got from the West and struck a deal with China and Russia for support. And now our equipment is basically a mishmash of millions of, different types of equipment. I'm pretty sure we're gonna see that with, look at that, self-propelled artillery. We got American, North Korean actually, or Russian, and a couple of ours. Mounted ATGMs. Oh, we really have no utility vehicles. We have the Jeeps, but we really have no APCs? I find it hard to believe. Wait, recognize brigade. Some of them should have something, or are we really completely short? Huh, that's weird. Usually it's distributed evenly, so if one has... Nah, I'm pretty sure we had some. So jihadists killed foreigners in Pakistan. I guess we... In essence, we should actually focus on supporting the jihadists. Well, if we actually develop the economy, but we're gonna stop gaining any political power. But I guess it's worth it. I mean, 6.21 billion at this point is gonna mean a ton for us. How long is it? 90 days. Yeah, it's gonna pay us pretty much for the copper mines. And we're gonna get a bit of extra tax revenue. Okay, so we get 480 at this point. So let's move to the medium corruption. That's extra 5% tax. And develop the economy. That's additional 3% tax. So now when we recalculate it, yep, we are gaining almost a billion every week. Nice. That is actually really good. I mean, the copper is gonna put a dent in it, but we're gonna be able to repay it pretty quickly. Pretty quickly. My goal is to lower keep the debt under control, and if we can keep it under control, we will immediately start reinvesting into our people, because that is what the government should do, right? Right? Bahrain Petroleum Company IPO. The long-awaited initial public offering of the Bahrain state's lucrative oil company has been officially announced by Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa. The success of the risky enterprise remains to be seen, with some analysts forecasting limited investor interest in this IPO. The Bahraini government has dismissed these predictions and has sought to maintain confidence in this time of uncertainty, urging investors both at home and abroad to buy shares. An exciting day. Italian elections. Valerio Zannone forms new government. Federazione dei Liberali, so they're Western outlooked. And we got the copper. So at this point we actually are getting more. Yeah, because we got increased... interesting. We got an increase in the actual production. So we're not getting 8, we're getting more. Can I see how much? Because it might be worth... Interesting. Wait, why is it 12? Didn't you say 10? Yeah. Okay, that's a 20% effect that we're getting. Okay, so we got the Sarheshmeh copper. We can cancel the imports from China. Thank you very much, China. We don't need you anymore. And we are still sitting at 5. Nice. Wait, we're actually exporting already. Yeah, okay. So that means we got... No, these are to the market. Okay, so that's not... Yeah, we definitely need to curtail that. But still, we got 14 factories now, and this one is going to be the 15th. So we will have a full-blown construction line, which is great. I'm going to check how long this Tehran Semenan infrastructure upgrade is going to take, because we might want to increase it even further. It would give us one extra steel production, but I'm more interested in the bonus to construction. Well, anyway, thank you very much for joining me for this episode, and I'll see you in the next one.